to our left. It used to be a critical hub for infrastructure all around our state, and it's been abandoned for a while. One of these poor boats is buried in the mud, but further on shore you can see a green stern wheeler called the Seawolf, and another tucked back in the trees called the Pelican. And I'd like to show you folks some pictures and talk about this area back in the heyday. Because people would place orders for goods and freight, and before airplanes were in the mix, those would all come off the Alaska Railroad system. But that ends here in Fairbanks. So if things had to go further west or north, they would get brought to this boatyard, put on barges, and then these stern wheel boats would push those barges down the Chena River, down the Tanana, down the Yukon until they got out to the coast. They could go to coastal communities or further up other rivers, but it's a long trip. We are currently 1,200 river miles from the ocean, and it was 1,200 miles back. Those captains and crews would do that whole trip 9-10 times a summer, both ways, as long as weather allowed, and with all sorts of boats. Little ones like we saw back there, up to giant ones like the 1,000-ton steamer Yukon you can see up on your screen. It's called a slip turn. They corkscrew down into the sky very quickly, which helps reduce their forward airspeed. So then he gets close to the water here. Going very slow, you just kind of coast down to a stop. And a beautiful landing, which you see up here pretty often, folks. Because we've got all those planes, we have a lot of pilots to go along with them. As a matter of fact, 1 in 80 Alaskans is licensed to fly, more per capita than anywhere else on the planet. I mentioned turning things into experts earlier. I'm going to see if I can flag down our friend and we can hear a bit about his life story.
This is Chena Village. Is that what it is? Riverboat. Heading back to the boat. It's a beautiful village. Reminiscent of an original Alaskan village. It's a replica, of course, but it's very nice, very primitive.
Did they stop again?
There's our riverboat.
The dredge stopped right here. It's been sitting on this pond since that day. In operation, this gold dredge did 3 simple things. The gold dredge chewed up gold-bearing gravel, it swallowed gold, it spit out rock.
Tunnel. Takes 7 minutes to get through it. trains and trucks and cars use the same one lane. Here we are on the Princess Sapphire, getting ready to depart from Whittier, Alaska. This is off of our balcony deck. Just absolutely breathtaking. Just unbelievable. Temperature is about 60 degrees. Sun's out, blue sky, absolutely gorgeous.